Give me 11 minutes and I'll fix the reason you never finish your music. First of all, I want you to put yourself in a category: beginner, intermediate, or advanced producer. This matters. Your workflow depends on it. Now, the first thing to note is you need some sort of inspiration to start a track. And there's two main ways to do this. The first is to use a reference track. The second is to generate ideas from scratch. If you're a beginner or an intermediate, I highly recommend using a reference track. If you're a more advanced producer, you can just generate ideas from scratch, but even a lot of pros still use reference tracks because it helps that much. So next, you need to get your reference tracks from somewhere. What I recommend you do is create a inspiration playlist on Spotify. This playlist you're seeing on the screen right now is all artists you guys have recommended that I make videos on. I know there's a lot on here, but I will get through to them at some point. I'm not Superman. Please help. And then once you've built up like 15 to 20 tracks, let's say, go and pick one track from there that you feel inspired by on that day. But make sure the reference track hits the following points. Firstly, make sure the artist is reputable, or at least if it's released on a label, the label is reputable. This is just because you want the highest quality possible for your reference tracks. This is because you're going to be using it for so much. Things like ideas, structure, arrangement, mix down, and lots more. And make sure you have all the tools available to recreate that sort of vibe. For example, if it's a track with loads of male rapping in it, and you don't know any rappers and you can't rap yourself, I wouldn't recommend using that track because you're just going to get stuck very quickly. So now you've picked a track, what you want to do is open up your project template. Now these are the ones I use here. I've got one for Ableton or FL Studio. You can download these for free in the description down below. So let's get one of these open. And now let's add in a reference track. So I'm going to use a track of mine and we'll just shorten this and make sure the BPM is in order. Yep, so it's matching the BPM of the project, 174. And next, what you want to do is add in your markers to identify each section of the track. So you can see it's already got the basic structure in this project template and these already align in. So I'm going to have a 16-bar intro, an 8-bar breakdown, an 8-bar build-up, and then a 32-bar drop. Now, it's really important to get the structure down like this for your track right at the start, because it's going to then help you to understand your track and slowly fill in each section. So next, a cool little tool you can use on FL Studio is you can extract stems from samples. So let's do this. And then I'm going to do the drums, bass, instruments, and vocals. So now that's done, you should get something that looks like this. And now you need to decide where you want to start with your project. This is totally up to you. You can start with the intro if you want, or you can start with the drop. I prefer to start with the drop for most of my tracks, and you'll start to understand why as we go through. So let's zoom in on the drop here, and you'll notice I've now got a section for the drums and a section for the basses, all separated. What you're going to want to do is study the drums on the reference track here and on here, chop little sections up so you can identify what sounds are in there, and then you're going to come to your drum section and slowly start adding in all the drums. And you're going to use the reference track to guide you. It's going to help you identify what drums are in there, so kick drums, snares or claps, hi-hats, percussion elements, what sounds to actually choose, so what snare drum to pick, how to get your hi-hats to sound, where to place them in the arrangement to get nice groove, and what levels to set all the elements at so they sound right, the mix down sounds right. Of course, if you're a total beginner, I just recommend copying exactly, but if you're intermediate advanced, of course, you're going to want to make it more unique to yourself. So just use it as a guide to start with and then develop more of your own sound. Then you're going to want to do the same with your basses. If you're a beginner, again, you can copy it exactly to try and understand how they work. But if you're more intermediate, advanced, looking to create your own track, then you can use it just as a mix down tool, a guidance for some arrangement, and get your own basses in there. Use Serum, use samples, and just do lots and lots of trial and error. You're going to want to do that for both things, by the way, for the drums and the basses. It's basically just trial and error until something clicks and you get the right sounds. That's one of the hardest parts of production to get right, the trial and error part, knowing what to keep in and what not to. Once the drop is done, you can then work backwards. I would start by doing the drums. Some of the drums you've used in the drop, you might be able to use in the intro, so do that bit first. And then using your reference track as guidance, add in any new drums you might need in the intro first, like hi-hats, snare fills, build-up elements as well, and get the basic structure of that down. And this is my track here, Abyss, so I've done that here. I would have made this drop first, and then I worked backwards added in some new stuff as well as stuff from the drop. You can see there's sections from the drop there. These kick drum here is from the drop, and then I've added some new elements in as well. And then once you've done that, I recommend going to the effects, adding in basic effects like white noise, other noises, Atmos, sweeps, down filters, risers, things like that are pretty easy to get in. And then the next hardest thing to do is adding in instruments and vocals. Let's look at instruments first. And by that, I mean melodies, chords, things like that. So there's two main approaches to adding sounds in for this. You can find samples and put them in, or you can create MIDI yourself with synths or instruments. If you're a beginner, I absolutely just recommend using samples because it's a lot easier to pick a good sample than create one. If you're more intermediate or advanced, I recommend using both methods. Create your own MIDI sometimes, find samples that you like other times, or combine the two if that works. So let's look at an example here for using samples. So I'll have found 1 to 5 on average different elements to add in and layer together. Remember, layering is important, but you just need to make sure you pick the right ones. So I will have used Splice Bridge for this here, and you turn it on in the corner, and I normally put it on this channel here just in case I need to add any processing to it as well. And then it matches the BPM of my project. I can set the key as well to match my project, and then just search whatever I want and go through loads of sounds until I find something that matches. And then I just repeat the process until I've got all the layers I want and it works really well together. So let's listen to an example here. So I found this sample, I found this sample, I found this sample, and I found this sample. So all together. And then let's look at an example where I've used both MIDI plus samples. So I've used Nexus for this, and I've created chords like this. And then I've layered that with lots of different elements. So another chord, Atmos, more Atmos, more Atmos, more Atmos, even more Atmos, a siren, and altogether it gets this. So then you need to add a vocal. If you're a beginner, I recommend just using platforms like Splice. It's the most cost-effective way to do it, and it's just really great, especially when you're learning. If you're more intermediate advanced, I still recommend using Splice because you can sometimes find some gems, but then you can also use other methods, sites like Vocalfy, where you can spend a little bit more to get like full vocals for an entire tune. You can hire a singer, which will cost a lot more money, but then you'll get a completely original sound in the style you want. You can collab with singers if you find singers online you connect with, or you can just record the singing yourself. Now, again, follow along with your reference track closely to figure out how they do the intro, the breakdown, the build-up, if they put the vocal in the drop, for example, and that should help you a lot. Now, one really hard thing to get right, you need to make sure your intro, breakdown, and build connect with your drop. Now, to do this, you can just listen to your track, see if it fits so far, but there are a couple more things you can do to help, and that is by using elements from the intro in the drop. For example, the vocal, if you've got a vocal hook, you can chop that up, put that in little end section of the drops, like every 8 bars, for example, or you can use like vocal chops you've created from the vocal across the track. You can use instruments that you've used in the intro and try and get them to fit somehow in the drop. That normally works well at the end sections as well, like every 8 bars. And then you can like implement textures you've used in the intro on the drop as well. So for example, in my track Abyss here, I've got this breath sound that I introduced in the build-up, and then I kept it on the drop as well, which really helped it like blend together. And then of course, make sure you have a pre-drop as well. So 1 bar before the drop, this can be like a unique section where it helps transition into the drop. Now it'll be different for every track. Like this one, there's not much of one here, whereas some drops might look like this, for example, where everything cuts out apart from the vocal, and there's like a little pre-drop fill as well. So now you've created the intro, the breakdown, the build-up, 32 bars of the drop. Take a break, send the track to some people for some feedback. And if you want some really high quality feedback, that comes in a part of my academy where I teach all these methods as well. Link to that in the description down below for more information on that. And once you've got your feedback, you've listened on fresh ears, made any changes, you can simply duplicate everything and work on your breakdown area here. How much of this you want in. You might not want the breakdown build up to be as long in the second section, so you might just copy like this in, for example. You then work on a second drop where you might just work on small variations, or you might completely rework it and create something unique for the second drop. And then I always recommend a very simple outro just at the end of the drop so the track can finish nice and quickly, so you don't bore people with a crazy long outro and they're just going to skip, and it's not good for the algorithm on like Spotify, for example. So just something like this where it reverbs out after the drop immediately finishes. And just make sure that your track goes to 0 dB right at the end here, which you can see it's done here. And that's everything. You've now created and finished a track. Just repeat this method every single time you make a track, and this will stop you from building up a library of unfinished music. If you enjoyed this video, why not watch this video here where I take you through 5 drop fixes you can use and apply to your tracks to get them sounding more high quality and better.